So, Jaleesa, from your end, what was the call? What was the email? What were the instructions? Like, what did you receive that you were meant to do, or what was the suggestion?
For the first video, I remember Sophia sent out the first email, and it was, very clear with directions. This is the song. I would like you to set up a camera this way. I would like you to be in the middle of a road or street or pathway. And I think at that point in time, I was so like, I was on the verge of potentially losing my job and because of the pandemic. And I was just in such a weird space that I was like, I can't do this. I'm sorry, I can't participate. And then Sophia was like, okay, cool, I get it. And then I don't know how long passed, but then Sophia was like, I really need you in this. I really want you in this. Like, I'm just going to come and film you. Can I just come and film you? Like, you don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, I get it, except I'm going to come stalk you and you will be in your film. It's not optional.
Okay. As long as you realize I'm going to lay there, which is exactly what I did. And she was totally supportive of that as an expression of how I was feeling in that moment. That's the point of a movement practice, is to be true to the moment. So if I'm going to lay down, that's all that there is. That's all I need to do. I don't have to do anything else. Yeah. So that's how I got roped into the first video.
And that quality of movement ended up, I feel, being this like pull through the film, this like holding stillness and just the authenticity of that experience of, no, I'm not feeling like I don't have this huge thing to express for other people. I'm just here in my internal experience. And it was so beautiful to have that in the film. It needed that stillness and that silence. So I was like, nah, I'm coming to get you.
Also, what's interesting, so now that I'm reflecting back on that and I'm thinking about the places that people chose to film themselves, and some are like so expansive and you can see the vanishing line of the road and it feels like it goes on forever. And as I'm thinking about your location, Jaleesa, it actually feels like very close in, right? It's not this expansive, it's this protected, kind of small, it feels safe, it feels like kind of safe and protected. I don't know if that was near your, like, but in your home, it felt like it was your home, like on this, in your side yard. That's what it felt like. Yeah. And it felt just very like protected. So that's interesting. What made you decide that you wanted everyone to do it on a road? Because that imagery was just like, I mean, I have many things to say about it.
Well, that came very directly out of these night walks that I was taking, which, near the beginning of the pandemic, like I started running again. I hate running, but it was literally like just being so crammed into this space and not knowing really what the danger was of even, breaching that wall. At one point I literally put on like my partner's sneakers and I was like, I'm going, like, you watch the kids, and it just ran, but the night walks were kind of similar, that at the end of the day, having transitioned back into being primarily a stay-at-home mother after starting to be back in the creative world again, I had to take these walks, and it was just so eerie to be in this common space, the space where people are generally passing by each other and there's, cars moving. It's not, I have a pretty walkable neighborhood, so you see people all the time, and it just wasn't happening early on. So I was alone in these kind of barren streets and feeling like, how strange that this space, this crossroads where people meet each other and encounter each other and say hello as they pass, is empty. And what has happened to that space? And it felt just like this really apt metaphor for this larger experience of, we didn't know what we had and then it was gone, and how do we still connect to each other in this space? So it felt like that, having everyone film in some kind of throwaway where people would normally be moving, but be, for the most part, the only people in that space, and then encounter each other through the layering and the editing process. That was the metaphor, but it came out of those walks.